Negotiations broke down. Fix it.
I have an assignment. It's like a paid holiday.
Starting when?
Go, go, go!
The story will be that she's gone rogue.
Man, I know Steven Soderbergh likes to screw around and try different genres of film and everything, but really? An action movie?
Hey, why not? Hey, man, you know, when you reach a certain level, I hate the guys who just keep doing the same thing over and over. I like somebody who goes like, you know what? I'm going to try this now.
But didn't he already do a somewhat action movie? He did Collateral, right?
Collateral? No, that's not him.
Am I thinking about the wrong motherfucker?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who directed Collateral then?
Michael Mann.
Yeah, that's Michael Mann.
Are you sure about that?
I'm absolutely 100%
with
positive.
Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is...
That was Michael Mann?
Yeah.
God damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe because I get confused because both of those guys like using the VHS cameras or whatever, right?
Yeah, but the difference is I think that like Michael Mann's sense of artiness is extreme. Like it's like every shot is stylized. And Soderbergh is almost the exact opposite. It's like he takes the artiness and the editing and the effects and everything out to be arty.
You know, that's really what makes this one stand out, because for the most part, like on paper, it's just... It's pretty much the standard action movie with a female protagonist. Something you usually see...
Spy thriller.
Yeah. Normally, a movie like this would star Angelina Jolie or what's that
Matt
little skinny
Damon.
chick's name?
Matt Damon with a wig?
Zoe Saldana.
It's a Bourne type of
Yeah,
spy.
it's a very much a Jason Bourne movie.
Yeah.
Except he's just stripped away all of the trappings, the sound effects, the score, all the musical cues that tell you like, oh, you need to get excited about this part. It's the action part, and you just watch it almost like you're just watching it really happen.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's disconcerting at first because there's so many rules he breaks to telling these type of stories right off the bat, that as an audience are so cued into these things that you're like, what am I watching? I don't even know what the hell this is. I'm having a hard time figuring out what's going on. I'm having a hard time figuring out if I should be enjoying this or not. But there's a point that comes in once I kind of got on board with Haywire that I went, I see what you did there.
Well, sorry, should you tell the people what this movie's about?
All right. So what this movie is first off, let's start off by saying that Soderbergh has cast a complete unknown in acting here, Gina Carano as Mallory Kane. She was an American gladiator, and she's like one of the main MMA fighters, right? She's not generally speaking.
I was about to say, she looks like it.
She's not generally speaking thought of as an actress per se, but she's a badass when it comes to fighting, and yet she still has a femininity.
Absolutely. The whole
to her.
time I was watching this, I was like, you know what? They have finally found the chick to play Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Who looks like, you know, she has that. Even like jokingly call her that in the movie.
You are absolutely right. And the thing, watching it, that's all you can think about. That's all I thought about.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Okay, as soon as she stepped on the screen and then she started beating ass, I was like, there's Wonder Woman right there. Even so much so that they even addressed it in the movie.
Yeah, like flat out say, you're Wonder Woman.
Yeah, they might as well just give her the script. Read this while we're taking you to go get killed.
So Soderbergh lately can go, that was me.
I know.
Thank you. But anyway, so the movie starts off as we see her walking into a diner in the middle of nowhere in upstate New York, all by herself, when Channing Tatum comes out of nowhere, and they obviously know each other, and he starts saying, why don't you come with me? I don't understand what you're doing. And it's very unclear what's going on.
Right. Because he's very nonchalant. He's like, look, I'm hungover. Why don't you come on back? She's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And he's like, all right, let me order some coffee. Boom, 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 boom.
Big fight. Less than 5 minutes in the movie, and a brutal fight.
Somebody shot. Somebody else had their arm broken.
Yeah,
everybody in the diner is just like, "What the fuck?"
Which I thought that scene would have been more effective if they didn't spoil it in the trailer.
Yeah, well,
true.
that's the trailer is that scene pretty much. But she gets away and takes a hapless restaurant customer played by Michael Angarano to take his car, and I don't even know why she takes him with her. It's not very very
well.
Clear.
He does jump in to try to save her,
right?
And I guess maybe she figures like, if I leave him here, he might get me.
It made sense to me, like thinking about it. See, we'll get into it.
Well, a lot of the movie is told by flashback as she explains to him who she is and what her whole story is. And as it's revealed, it turns out that she was an agent, freelance agent, which of course no matter what anybody tells you, there are indeed many of them out there.
I believe everything the movies tell me.
Who's working for Ewan McGregor, who is a guy who sort of organizes freelance agents into jobs. And even though she doesn't want to work with them anymore because they used to be in a relationship and yada, yada, you don't even need to know. She says, just this one job, it pays a lot and it's not going to be very hard. I'm going to hook you up with Michael Fassbender. And
it'll be Wonder Woman and Magneto.
This is your pitch? You want me to be eye candy? MI6 wants me to be eye candy?
Mallory, you were the eye.
I don't even know how to play that. I don't wear the dress. Make Paul wear the dress.
Well, I'll ask. Look, do this, and then we'll go away afterwards. We'll go to Mallorca.
Mallorca?
Not like before. As friends, you can take a break. It's literally 2 days.
Yeah. Only thing is she finds out that whole job was a setup to burn her for the murder of a guy that she thought they had saved in an earlier job in Barcelona. Now, I know this sounds confusing, and it is, but it does the movie pushes home these points enough where you do get it.
Yeah.
It repeats itself in the exact right way to where it is made clear to you, which is more than you can say for some of the Bourne films. As it goes along, as we figure out that whole story is told from there on, it's, so what do I do to get unburned? How do I, who do I even talk to? I'm one of those people. I had one contact and he turned
what
on
motherfucker
me.
do I have to kill to get my name off this list?
And that's where I jumped on board because the movie then becomes a movie all about Revenga. I'm like, all right, this I understand.
Yeah.
You can explain to me all that other shit when you have your Scooby-Doo ending, and then I'll be like, it all makes perfect sense. I'm just stupid.
And it's great as we watch her, like, one at a time, basically go from person to person, trying to figure out how to get to Ewan McGregor and figure out everyone else was involved and figure out who she needs to talk to not have to be on the run all the time. But in the meanwhile, the whole world's police force is looking for her and trying to kill her. There's this great sequence where she's like, it's not really parkour, but
no,
she's
the run across the rooftop scene.
Yeah, and she's escaping from them and she has to beat the shit out of two machine gun wielding like SWAT team guys and does it without breaking a sweat.
Oh, dude,
no.
I tell you what, watching that, playing that was so much like playing Arkham City. It was like, that's what you do. You get the drop on one, you take him out, you turn around, get the other one, while the other one's dazed, you take him out, down, the other one, the big smash,
I know the whole time I kept like pressing my D-pad. I'm like, oh wait, I'm not playing a game. But you're absolutely right. It does feel like that because I mean, there's moments where it's like a lot of movies like this, they would do a lot of quick editing, fast cuts.
Yeah.
When it gets to the action, it's like boom, 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 boom. But this one they're just filming it as it goes along.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, try to get from that roof to this other roof.
Yeah.
And don't worry. If it takes you 10 fucking minutes or 20, this camera ain't going nowhere. This gonna stay on you until you get your ass over there. And if you fall, even better.
In many ways, this is the movie that I kind of been asking for because I kept saying how like, man, these spy movies get so ridiculous. I want something more realistic. Then they gave me Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and I was like, all right, not that.
You finally met me in the middle.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And
you're right.
and also just the fact that the lead actress, I'm sorry, what's her name?
I'm sorry.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Gina Carano.
Gina Carano. I couldn't really tell that she wasn't an actress. I mean, I know that I hadn't seen her around, and Cyrus, you brought up earlier how she didn't have like the charisma you normally see in somebody like this.
Yeah,
but she does hold her own. It was never a time when I didn't believe her, and she's so believable, I guess, because of her MMA training at doing these stunts and the fight stuff. To where I'm like, you know what? I totally believe this. This looks like a chick who could beat the shit out of you. Any man, as opposed to some little skinny stick, and I greatly appreciate that.
And you're right. It's not like she has the typical charisma you see from an actress, and maybe I don't know if that's Soderbergh saying play it down. You're supposed to be a killer.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be all charming, or if it's just that she's nervous and probably doesn't have that much experience in this sort of thing. But she does it, and it's not like you go, "Wow, she's bad in this," because she isn't.
No.
She's just passable acting wise, but physically, she's astonishing. This woman has moves on her, and Soderbergh knows exactly how to just sit back. Get out of the editing room
because he didn't want to get hit.
Show her doing what she does.
And what's also great about that is that she looks the part. You look at her and you're like, yeah, that chick could beat the fuck out of my ass, Leon's ass, Cyrus's ass, Corey's ass, everyone's ass in the room easily, because she looks, I mean, just physically, she looks like that much more powerful. Just especially when she fucking gets you in that fucking thigh fucking crushing nutcracker headlock of hers.
That would be one of those like, wow, this
of hers.
That would be one of those like, wow, this is so where I want it to be, and now it's not fun at all.
Yeah.
The context is all wrong.
It's like, oh man, that kind of looks hot, and then you're like, oh fuck, you know. But
it's weird. Unlike a lot of girls like her who are like big, you know, woman, her proportions are all very feminine.
Yeah,
but she's so Amazonian.
She really
like,
is.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean,
this woman could eat me.
It's like if that wrestling chick China, if she had a face that you know, could match her physique, and you know, where it's like, okay, well, China obviously can't be fucking Wonder Woman.
No.
She can be fucking a dark side, but you know, but this chick, I believe, but yeah, her acting, I was really impressed, because it's one of those things where you're like, where have I seen this girl before? She had to have been in something else, just because, you know, and I think that has a lot to do with how she interacts with her co-stars. Ewan McGregor, Michael Fassbender. But the one thing though is that watching her, it made me that much more pissed off that fucking walking piece of baloney, Channing Tatum, was in this movie, because wow, when you see them together, it's like, dude, how long have you been doing this? Like, whose dick are you sucking again? Because wow, man, every scene with that guy honestly got knocked down a notch, where you're like, man, you might as well be a fucking piece of baloney. I mean, baloney does have a first name, and it's Tatum. Who the fuck gave this guy a job?
Man, you're breaking Uncle Corey's heart, because he loves that Channing Tatum.
Why?
Because ever since the Eagle, where it looks like, hey, you know what? I don't think he's good, but he is trying. But watching this, it's like, wow, he's kind of back to where... I mean, you talk about Soderbergh wanting to work with non-actors.
That's what I was just going to say. Soderbergh apparently likes working, or he has a challenge to himself or something, with people who are not really good actors, or not actors at all. I mean, one of his previous films, The Girlfriend Experiment, was with a porn star, Sasha Grey.
That's right.
No acting experience outside of sucking dick.
Out of faking orgasms.
Yeah. He did the whole movie where she's almost the only character in it. It's so focused on her.
Well, that dude needs to start sucking some dicks or something.
Yeah, and here he's got this woman who has been in other stuff, but you know, really obscure little stuff that's fighting oriented. You know, like she was in a film called Ring Girls that was about women who fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, and she was on American Gladiators. So, and then of course, like I said, Channing Tatum, who, as everyone knows, is not actually an actor.
Yeah, he's paint. I mean, he's on the wall right now.
I mean, you start looking at the cast. You know, Antonio Banderas and
Michael Douglas.
Michael. You know, Oscar winner Michael Douglas and
Michael
Fassbender and Ewan McGregor. And Channing Tatum?
What? Is he a table?
I know. Like, you could replace him with one of your relatives, where you're like, what? Why?
Uncle Popcorn, what are you doing in this movie?
I think he's just challenging himself. He's like, Soderbergh's like, okay, I already know I can make movies and I can make money from movies. Now I'm going to make it hard of myself. You know? It's like, he's tying one hand behind his back. That's what Channing Tatum is.
It's like, hey, dude, it's like, you're not a miracle worker, all right? Just give it up. Yeah.
It's only so much anyone can do.
Can I give this guy a personality? Let's see.
And it's funny how in that very first scene where it's just the two of them in the diner talking, right off the bat, she comes off as more believable than Channing Tatum does.
Yeah.
And you almost want to excuse it because he's like, look, I got a hangover, just get in the car. But the more he talks, just like, hey, that ain't part of your...
Yeah. I was like, yeah, you know what? Can we replace this guy with that fucking bologna? I think I have a piece of my sandwich.
Maybe that's his strategy, though, is that because all of his scenes are really with her, and it's like, well, she's not an actor, but she's trying.
Right.
You put her next to an established, quote, actor, end quote, like Channing Tatum, and then everyone goes, wow, she was good.
Damn.
I'm sorry, but it's true. We call him
you're absolutely fucking right, though. That's the sad fact.
I think this is one of those films, if you take the time to to get past that point in your brain where you're like, I mean, it's just, you're so cut off from reality at first watching this. The first fight scene, no soundtrack, no Foley.
Right.
And you're just like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, what just
here?
happened?
Because like, you know, you're used to seeing like that sort of like stripped down thing and like more art and indie and low budget films, but they don't have fight scenes like
Right.
No.
So-
and these are very effective. I mean, and I say that because I was in a theater with a bunch of women, which was, you know, at first I was like, man, there's like women in this theater of every age range.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, duh, because the fucking star's a girl, and that's what they need. They're looking for that. They're looking for that action star. But as soon as you see this chick talking to somebody, so I was doing my hair, bam! Like all of a sudden she gets knocked the fuck out with a fucking coffee pot,
Yeah.
and you're just like, oh shit! And then you see these guys fucking going to town. You thought Tina Turner had it bad, dude. Wait until you see this chick get her ass beat in every scene where I think there was like
They are brutal to
yeah,
her.
they were. Those scenes were fucking brutal. I mean, there were pimps in the goddamn theater taking notes on fucking woman,
slapping.
women ass beating 101. I mean, it was like holy shit.
Except the difference is Tina Turner doesn't get right back up and beat the holy living daylights out of whoever did that to her.
And I think that's a lot of what makes her character makes this so effective is that, you know, they showed it. She could take a punch, and that's a part of what you believe in it. I mean, with any other type of movie like this, the girl totally gets a drop on the guy. He's completely flustered, and she puts him down with nothing. You never see them get hit and get back up because you know, like if the guy ever got a square punch in on him, it's pretty much over.
I've said this for years now. One of the qualities of a really great action movie with lots of hand-to-hand fighting is that the main character obviously is getting hurt. He's not perfect. I mean, it was one of the things we liked about Mission Impossible 4 that Tom Cruise gets so beat up that at the end he's like, please take me to the hospital. You know, like, okay, well, that's what would actually happen to some extent. We are talking about Mission Impossible there. But here, the fight scenes, like I said, she does get hurt. I mean, she gets hit and she's like, oh, Jesus Christ. You can tell that
She's
hurt
got
like
bruises
shit.
and cuts throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Which normally is something that seems to go away, even with guy action stars.
What-
No matter what happens to them later on, they look perfect.
Well, that was what everyone liked about Die Hard so much, the original one, because that was the first one in forever that we had seen an action star who got totally fucking beat up during the length of the movie.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first one I can recall where it's, you know, where we're seeing that phenomenon, but with a woman.
Yeah.
It's always felt like, oh, but you can't do that with a woman. You can't show
You
that.
can now, apparently. Yeah, as long
Floodgates are open.
Yeah, I know. As long as you have your bag of L'Oreal products, that shit will be gone quick. You know, it's time to exit. Just slap some fucking makeup on.
That's the
you're gone.
advantage. Bruce Willis can't come out with like lipstick and rouge.
I know they should now. Every spy should have a L'Oreal kit by their side.
Robert Downey Jr. could probably get away with it.
Yeah, I think there's a few.
Yeah. So I mean, clearly I love this movie and I would give it a full price. If I had anything bad to say about it, it's just that watching her do the MMA moves, I'm just like, I mean, I know that's her forte, but I'm like, boy, y'all are really trying to push this on us and legitimize it enough already. It's like, if I'm in a real fight, I don't know how much you use this, but okay, sure.
Yeah, within the context of the film. And like, I even so, I don't know anything about fighting. If I was in this situation, I'd be dead in the first 2 seconds. But, you know, I mean, like, I'm like, what? Why aren't you doing monkey style? That's my perspective on this.
I guess it's time for me to use drunken style. I've been drunk enough.
All I know is dumbass style.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully I will fall on top of you. And then you will not be able to get up. So I don't know. Maybe they really do fight with some of these moves and real thing. I don't know. I'm sure someone out there in Spill Land will inform me how wrong or right we are. But who cares? It feels organic in the context of the film watching it, and it is really fun. Like I said, there was a little bit of a disconnect for me at first, but once I got over that, I thoroughly enjoyed this whole film. I thought it actually has a really good spy thriller plot. It has great action. It has a different way of telling its story than you're used to. And it has the most awesome but simple ending. I was
going to say that. Yeah, I don't want to say any more about it. But
full price.
It had a great the last line. It's
It's so perfect. Yeah.
It's so effective. Yeah, yeah. I'm right there with you. I mean, it was. it was really good to see a movie where you look at the trailer like, okay, I don't get it. It felt like before I was walking in, it felt like, okay, I feel like this is something I've already seen before,
right?
And because they just kind of threw it out there, I wasn't expecting much at all. But wow, I was pleasantly surprised just with this how the camera just let the actors do what they need to do, and the story wise, it is a bit disjarring at the very beginning, but as soon as it gets like about 30 minutes into it, you do realize what's going on, and as soon as you do, it's that much more fun. Taking part of that ride, and it's wow when the fucking bitch slapping starts, you're just like, okay, now you really got me. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a full prize just because I was that surprised and I was that taken back. And yeah, this chick, she is Wonder Woman now, so you better get used to it.
I was gonna say I can't even see how they can cast anybody else but her.
I know.
At this point, she's the one that you go, yeah, she's got everything in the right ways that you should to play that role. Whereas other actresses they've talked about, you're like, yeah, I don't know if I'd butt her.
I know.
At this point, she's the one that you go, yeah, she's got everything in the right ways that you should to play that role. Whereas other actresses they've talked about, you're like, yeah, I don't know if I'd believe her as being that kick-ass. She's just...
And that's the thing, like, selling the idea that she can do what she does and she's a fucking badass. And there's moments where she can look pretty goddamn hot.
She's sexy too.
She is gorgeous. The funny thing about this week was that the movie they actually screened for us that came out this week, like, press should come see this, was not very good, and the movies they didn't screen for us were both a lot of fun.
Yeah, which I'm sure somebody's going to be looking for a new job. Whoever's making those decisions, they're like, you goddamn idiot. Yeah.
Haywire. I've never done a woman before.
You shouldn't think of her as being a woman. That would be a mistake.